Good morning, good people. Welcome back to A Moment on Mondays with your girl, your sister. I'm your friend and personal growth coach, Stephanie R. Strong. And this morning, I'd like to speak to you about who you're riding with. Well, when I think about who you're riding with, I'm actually talking about who are you inviting or allowing to come into your inner circles. Now, we cannot help that we live in a community. And because we live in community, whether it's community with family, community with friends, community at work, community in our church, community with social circles, we are always interacting or engaging people actively or passively. But what I am referring to are people that you choose to ride with. You got to be real careful about who you are riding with, and you got to be real careful about who is riding with you, because the Bible says that we have to be careful because the adversary is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. That's why the admonition is to be sober and be vigilant. Do you know what it means to be sober? It means to pay attention. That means to listen. That means to observe. That means to be careful about the kind of energy you allow to influence you. Everybody who says they are for you may not necessarily be for you for the good. So you got to be sober. You got to examine who you are riding with or who is riding with you. Here are a couple of ways that you can test the genuineness, is that a word? Or the validity of a person. It's not about judging. It's not about expectation, but you can listen. You can be sober, and you can pay attention to the things that people say and the things that people don't say. Because just because people are saying a whole lot doesn't necessarily mean that they are riding with you for the good. And just because people are not saying a lot of things doesn't necessarily mean that they're not riding with you for good, but it doesn't always mean that they are. So I want you to take time to think about what's really important to you. And I want you to ask God to please place the right people in your life, or help you to cross paths with the right people, the people that He sees are necessary for you to get where you're trying to go. Because God is doing amazing things in the lives of all of us. I don't want to set anybody above or below anyone else. But if you are clear as to the direction in which God is leading you, then you also have to be intentional about asking Him to place the right people at the right time on board with you, or make sure that you are on board with the right people. And that kind of foreknowledge is divine. And that is why I wholeheartedly believe in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So my question is, who you riding with? Or who is riding with you? Make sure that they are on board for the right reasons, that they can support what God is doing in your life and what God is doing for the greater good of people you will influence. Well, that's all that I have for you today. Make sure that you check me out at presencewithpurpose.net. I also do a Periscope at the end of the week, so I look forward to seeing you then. But until then, make this your best day ever.